SoFi stock reported earnings last week, and now we're seeing a little bit of a dip post earnings about a week after everything kind of settles. We saw a new all-time high develop here going into almost $31, $32 give or take. But now again, like I mentioned, we're seeing a little bit of that decline. Now it's important to understand that we were pushing all-time highs on the S&P 500 when that took place, and now you are kind of declining back down. And actually, this is that part right here that basically Thursday, Friday right here where we gapped up. That was all from Donald Trump saying a trade deal had basically been secured with China, etc. And then obviously we gapped up like crazy and then kind of slowed back down. But that's really where we're at and what's taking place right now. So SoFi as a company, SoFi as a stock still looks amazing. It's really worth mentioning. You're basically right there, at previous all-time highs. As you can see there, your first initial break, and your big support here at 28.5. Now I'm going to go deep into the charts, what you should be looking at if you're looking for buying opportunities, everything in between. And a lot of you are asking, Tyler, when are you going to start getting into options? And I do believe that opportunity is going to be coming very soon. I'll be going over a few other cheaper stocks out there that I'm watching and that actually I'm buying right now as well. So just buckle in. Let's get to work. Now, the most important things from earnings we need to understand. And so a few articles that kind of released is about SoFi, why it's running, why it reached all-time highs, what's carrying it right now. It's talking about some of the big things that we mentioned previously. SoFi reported record earnings of third quarter 2025, with revenue rising to $891 million and net income growing to $139 million compared to the previous year. The company's member count, which is what we were talking a lot about, rose to 12.6 million, up 35% year over year, reflecting strong adoption among younger consumers and the expansion of its financial ecosystem. Now, again, it's important to understand that they're kind of trying to transition and build out this ecosystem we've talked so much about. We'll go into that here in a sec. We'll explore the record fee-based revenue growth and the innovative product launches that could affect SoFi's investment narrative going forward. Again, a record fee-based revenue growth. So again, basically what you're doing is you're bringing in a number of people that are obviously members of your platform. Now, like we said before, it's important to understand that SoFi is not like a one-trick pony, dare I say, as a company. They're pretty, they kind of broaden out. Now, they have the obviously the tip of the arrow, but it gets broader as you kind of go down the branches of the company. And again, so they kind of want to hook you in there, the younger consumer, with obviously student loans and get you in for mortgages, get you in with credit cards, get you in with establishing them as your bank, since you're already paying your mortgage or paying your, student loans through them. And then they want you to start investing through their platform as well. And you can see how this kind of is a domino snowball effect. Now, a company I try to compare them to, and it's not the greatest comparison, but they're trying to follow a similar route that Robinhood has taken. Now, Robinhood's ecosystem is different than SoFi. I think SoFi is going to be looked at as more like longevity. This is like the standard for like users in America, young individuals who want to better their financial education, etc. I think Robinhood has kind of shifted and become like fun, which, again, some of you might disagree with me, but I think that's what it's become. You're doing the prediction market. You can bet on sports now. It's crazy. Meme stocks, all the IPOs, the cryptos, etc. It's become a lot of fun, and you're seeing it all over social media. And I will say, I use Robinhood's UI for my TikTok posts because I think they're the most engaging, and they give you the best. For me, they give the best retention rate when I look back at them, right? So it's a lot of people recognize that format, and so what they're doing, I think, is going a little bit of a different route, but trying to follow like that model that Robinhood did. And it's important that it starts with members. It starts with getting people on your system, because if they're in your system, the likelihood of them spending money or investing money on your platform grows rapidly. So again, the fact that you're seeing a record 905,000 new members joining SoFi in the quarter, up 35% from the prior year from 12.6 million. SoFi added a record 1.4 million new products, up 36% from last year to 8.6 million products overall. Delivering results of one-stop shop. Again, what we're talking about, how they're getting you in the door and then just showing you, we can also do this, and this. Basically, anything you need regarding money, investing, loans, we can take care of you. SoFi's integrated financial systems model drove strong product adoption across the business. Cross-buy hits its highest level since 2022, with approximately 40% of the new products opened by existing SoFi members. Meaning, again, the members are liking the new products. It's not just new people coming in to use those new products. They're actually growth, and they're getting more money out of the consumers that are using it. So this is really important that people understand what's in front of us and what you're really looking at. Because again, I think people think SoFi is a name that you're going to buy sometimes, and you're going to get really rich, and it's going to just go straight up, and stocks only go up. They never go down. That's it. Now, I will say SoFi is on this great trajectory going back to basically 2024, where you are kind of going up besides the one dip you had here in 2025 with all the tariffs, et cetera, right? And so what you can see here when you zoom in, go to like the 2 hour, you're still holding up really well. And the reason why I wanted to make that visual of SPY and what's happening with the stock market is, you know, I always use the analogy, if it's raining outside and let's say you look out your window and it's pouring down rain and your wife comes up to you like, I think we should schedule a picnic in the next 20 minutes. I think it's gonna clear right up. And I'd be like, well, did the weather say that? Oh no, I just feel it. You'd be like, that's weird. If it's projected to rain in this entire area for the next 5 hours, why would it stop raining right over our house? It'd be really cool. The point is you're connecting your bias, your feelings, what you think is going to happen, not really reacting to what's actually going on, what's happening, right? And so when the stock market as a whole is getting a dip, most of the stocks inside of the market will get a dip. You know, so one of the main things we tracked here was IWM as well, getting, you know, again, trying to get this multi-year breakout back over 244, 242, which again, you're kind of coming back down into right now. We'll talk more about that, but it's important to understand the market as a whole is dipping right now, right? So to think that there's going to be like a caveat of one stock that holds out, you know, that'd be kind of delusional. But it is worth mentioning that SoFi is holding up very well. Despite some of the dip you're seeing in the market, SoFi is holding up amazing. So again, highlighting the levels that we like, what we want to see, continuation, etc. So SoFi, as long as you hold, I mean, really you hold above 28.3, 28.5, I think you look really, really strong. It's one of the strongest mid caps out there, in my opinion. Above 30.3, you're looking for all-time highs into $32.5 to $33, and I think you'll cook. Now, again, going back to previous, you know, targets of, you know, looking at SoFi, etc. I still think SoFi has room at $35, $40. I want to make that really clear. But you're going to need help from the stock market. Very important to understand. It's also worth mentioning SoFi is still moving good, still making highs, still pushing all-time highs, right? Despite you seeing your yields kind of spike a little bit back up from your last rate cut from the Fed. So also worth mentioning here. Now, I also want to say, like, even if, let's say the worst case scenario comes out the next Fed meeting that we don't cut rates, okay? I want to make this abundantly clear. Even if we don't cut rates, I still think SoFi is going to be in a great position going into January and February of next year because we know Jerome Powell, if, you know, either is going to get replaced or get put back into office. I don't think he's going to stay in the same. I don't think he's going to stay. We'll see. But we know whoever Trump tries to put in office there for Fed chair is going to be, in my opinion, whooped to this extent of, hey, Trump, what do you want me to do? Jump? How high? Let me do it, right? So again, as yields continue to come down, as, you know, interest rates come down, mortgage rates, etc., this strengthens SoFi's business model. And again, you're going to expect more and more money to flow through SoFi's door. So very important to understand what's happening there. Okay. So SoFi, I still love them. Again, buying zones for me, I make it really clear. You're holding your 50-day moving average, as you can clearly see. It still looks really good until that breaks. You kind of have nothing to be concerned about. But buying levels for stock, 28.35, $25, and then obviously breaking above 30.3. This is where you get aggressive. So if you are to break back above 30.3 and the market starts to get some good buying, right? So we get this break, retest, continuation. I will be looking for options above 30.3, start trading back into all-time highs. I also don't think you have to be super aggressive on those. I want to be really clear. So you can go down to SoFi, go in here. And again, I'll be posting these as they come into for Discord if you're in there as well. But again, I'd be going like something like January 6th, a little bit out of the money. What I'd be targeting overall near $30, $31. That's what I personally be doing. I would like to have a lot. This is only 73 days. I'd preferably to have over 100 days on these contracts, but again, what I'd be considering, what I'd be looking at. Now, that also brings me to the next part, guys. If you want to see exactly what we're trading, how we're trading every single day, the Discord link is down below. Every day we start with futures. This is the most important thing that you could ever be looking at, is what is going on in the futures market, because this tells you where you're moving, how you're going to move. So again, we start with there. Then we go into our watch list, which is futures and stocks. We mentioned there as well. Then we go into technicals for all of our scalp setups. We traded Meta to the downside today. We traded, I didn't get into NVIDIA, but under 200.7, looking for the dip back down as well. We also traded, I believe, Meta was the last trade. And we also had TSM. Again, we got stopped out of that one. Palantir was a big winner as well to the upside. So everything we traded there on the day, but the link is down below if you are interested. Check it out while you can. It's all there for you. So again, as we look at what's going on with SoFi, that's my opinion there. If you get below the 50-day moving average, you're probably coming down to 24.7. If you lose 24.7, you have bigger fish to fry and the market's probably getting hit. So you're probably going to edge down towards the 200 SMA. You might not like it, but it is what it is. Now, a few stocks that I'm actually buying right now or looking to buy. Number one, HIMS. HIMS had earnings. And I'm not really buying SoFi stock here because like it's just not at a dip. I'll add more, just kind of a waiting game. So HIMS was actually trading pretty good this morning into $48. I want to see a daily close above the 200 SMA if I'm going to buy options. I even said that today in Discord, but I also posted the options I was looking to buy here in Discord as well. You can check them out. Like I said, I like which ones I like. If you're wanting to add options, what you're seeing there. But again, right now, my next load up zone, I started buying near $45. I'm going to be buying more near $42 to $41. And then I'll probably hit the pause button on that until you get back above the 200 SMA, just to not over leverage myself. But again, this is a pretty big level. If you lose 41, I might either cut and then look to re-add in your 35, 34, but that's where I'm at right now. Again, I think my risk tolerance there to be like roughly 11, 12%. So again, I'm not really worried at all. That's really where I'm looking to buy. I think HIMS is still in a really good position. I like their earnings. I think they're a great company personally. Going into a little bit further, PayPal, just want to give you guys an update. Again, it's below 60, basically 68.9, 68.6. So again, you can't trade this. You're back into your zone. I like PayPal earnings. I think they have promise. But again, when you're trading in this giant box, you don't do nothing with it. You got to get above $69 basically to look to go long. BMNR, again, just sitting in that $40 zone, continuing down. Worth mentioning, Ethereum, as you guys can see, broke below 3,400, breaking back down. Again, crypto is very weak right now, so keep your head on a swivel when it comes to crypto. Bitcoin almost down to 100K, looking to break 100K, which should not be ideal. There's a lot of people making big bets on crypto breaking 100K too, which is really funny, so we'll see what happens there. But again, where you're at right now. Now, broader than that, again, some of the more interesting names, I think right now are CoreWeave, which I'll probably keep track of this, guys, for you guys. I'm looking, and I think this is going to be more of your opportunities going to be down here to basically 102 all the way into like 106. That needs to be lower just a little bit, like right there, like 106 into 101, 102. That's your buy zone for me. If you break below this, you're probably looking for 85. So again, you want to see this hold as a support. If you flip this, get out of it. Don't, again, you want to see a strong reaction. You want to see buyers get aggressive there. If they don't, it's going to get ugly. So again, there's no reason to get stuck in a trade. Tempest AI, again, I'm being greedy here, guys. I want to see 78, 76, and then I want to see the 200 SMA. That's where I'm looking to buy Tempest AI. Again, I like it, but again, I'm not going to be over aggressive buying it. Going into Upstart, need to get back above $55 bare minimum. You hit your death cross here above the 200 SMAs where I get more aggressive, and where I'll go into options. It'd be only shares below that. I'm going to tell you right now, MP Materials, like I said, with this trade deal, etc., MP is going to continue climbing to the downside, and you're going to see these gaps most likely get filled. Again, I think this becomes a bigger buy in your $30 to $25. Like I said, when you broke below 65, you just got to take the L on any trade that you got into here. That's why you were only buying shares, especially if this deal got resolved and it started to develop, in the later stages as well. So very important to know that. So very important where we're at, what's moving now. Mid-cap semiconductor MRVL. I've tracked this for a while for you guys here in the daily chart. Like we said, back above 83, moved back into 94. Where you really want to see us get to on Marvel MRVL is getting above $94 on a daily chart and holding. If you can break and turn this into a support $94, I genuinely believe you have room into like 100 easy, and then towards 105, and then ultimately back into all-time highs. The same kind of setup with ARM, as you were stuck at the 200 daily moving average for a while, then you eventually broke in all-time highs. Kind of a similar trade, decent setup, and I still think semis actually look really solid. Obviously you're cooling off right now, but would I be watching, would I be tracking? Also Palantir, I wanted to do a dedicated video, I just didn't do one. But Palantir, I like this back above 189.5 into like 194, maybe try to get a gap fill. But until then, you got to keep your head on a swivel. If you get below 189.5, looking quickly down into 184.5, and then possibly down to 176 and the 50-day moving average. So very important you're understanding what to look for, why you're looking for it, etc. I also want to say, guys, if you want to see what we're trading, we post a lot on Twitter as well for you guys, so you're always up to date. I'm always posting on here as far as charts, setups, futures, etc. It's all there for you, so make sure you're tapped in, you're paying attention. I literally said this morning, 4 hours ago, looking for the trade deal gap fill from last week, 25 0.57. Again, that was way up here. So that's where you're kind of coming into right now. So it's important to understand why we're looking for this. And again, hopefully you guys, I try to give you as much tools as possible so you can see what we're thinking as well throughout the trading session and day. So you can never like skip a beat. But again, it's all there for you. TikTok as well. I don't know if I have a TikTok link down below, but you can check it out for yourself. Just search up Tyler Wilson or Jefe Trades, whatever it may be. Again, that is all going to be there for you. I want to say this video has been sponsored specifically with this segment from Outside the Box Capital, and we're going to be talking about ONCY. So again, do your own research as always. Now, when we go into this stock, it's very important to understand that this stock has been hammered and it's in the biotech space. Now, again, it's specifically regarding what's happening with cancer treatments and what's happening there. Now, in the last video, I went into detail about how they basically, from the FDA, have changed the regulations for effectiveness on cancer treatments, and their new cancer treatment specifically has been 30% more effective than that bare minimum requirement, which put them in a pretty good position. Now, obviously, like I said, when the market's getting hit, most names are going to go down. So if you're going into the mindset of like, okay, I love my stock so much, but the stock market can only go up, especially my stock, then you're probably in the wrong space. So it's important to know when things like the market dips like right now, these are where you get better opportunities as far as setups, even with the name like Sofi, HIMS, etc. Right? Very important to understand. That's why I'm buying some of those names. Now, going into ONCY, they also announced that they're working on their new cancer treatment and their new advisory board for this new therapy that they're working on, which we'll get more information and hopefully some FDA decisions made on that down the line as well. Because what we know with these cancer biotech names is all it takes is one FDA approval and these names can go insane. Like I said, though, looking at this chart, you're still not seeing a big buy zone right now. As you come into your 200 daily moving average, you know that is one of my favorite areas when it comes to the chart, near 85 to 84 cents. That is what I'd be looking at for a reaction from buyers to start getting that move back into $1.20, and then ultimately back towards $2, which was the ultimate goal here. Very important to understand what and why we're looking at that and where it becomes a bigger play. Like I said, not financial advice. Do your own research. Not telling you to buy, but again, keep this on your watch list. Put it on your TradingView watch list as always. That's what we're looking at. If you have any questions, comment down below. See you in the next video. Have a good one, traders.